Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Ashen Cast. Today, in the red side corner, we are starting off with Gumayushi as the AD carry for Renata Glask. Then, for the mid lane, we have Fizz, who's facing off against the Swain. We have the two junglers, meaning Viego and Rek'Sai. And then, in the top lane, Ornn facing off against Gragas as... Oh my word, what am I watching? There is a little bit of fiesta going on. Ezreal flash. Ezreal's going to die here. And the Senna going to die as well. The Guma God has been fed. His bloodlust has been quenched. Well, it's probably not quenched, to be honest, because he just started. And 2 kills for a Kai'Sa ain't good. Beautiful body slam here as we go into the slow motion. Alright, we have 2 daggers, boots, and a longsword, which means tier 1 boots are already pretty big. But the tier 2 boots are going to be... Oh no. The tier 2 boots are going to be close. Some trades in the mid lane, trades in the bot lane, some trades in the top lane. As the top lane probably not going to be that interesting. Gragas can resist, Ornn can resist. Both won't have that much kill pressure. Mid lane, probably going to be a similar deal. Fizz versus Swain. Most of the time not very interesting, except if there is some jungler intervention. Alright. Let's see what the Ezreal does. We got a stun for the Renata. And the Senna is reduced to about 100 HP. 200 to be exact. We have a little bit of a skirmish going on here. If Fizz would join, this could be scary, but obviously probably not going to be too crazy. There's not going to be too much coming from it. Viego playing very aggressive, obviously knows that his bot lane does have prio, but Viego blowing his flash. No Ezreal ult available yet. And... Oh, Renata Glask almost lived. But almost means that she is dead now. And the Ezreal does not want to play the game anymore. As this absolute bloodbath of a game is just going to be incredible. As we watch the game sped up just a little bit as everyone is kind of resetting, but Viego is intending to make this game still be interesting as he can, which is why he offers himself up. Looking at the top lane, both players are out of mana and still have more health than mana. That is the way it goes. But Gumayushi, at this point, 5-0. Unstoppable. Way too scary. And you just can't do anything against him. He is just going to run you over. Like an absolute train. Alright. As the game is slowing down a little bit. Fizz and Swain, let's be honest, both of these trades not going to be too relevant, as I think that it's not necessarily the mid lane that is going to decide this, as the bot lane is already so far ahead that Gragas as well as Fizz would need to be super ahead. That is the dive on the Ornn. 26 to 36 CS score for the top lane. So a slight lead for the Gragas, trying to ignore the absolute carnage that is unfolding in the bot lane here. Unfortunately, watching games from Korea always leaves me with these language question marks, even though Korean can't be installed, unfortunately, right? So I need to figure something out. Maybe there is a way to get Korean language on an EU client. Alright, that is huge for Ezreal. Ezreal 2-3-1. He now got a good amount of money back with the 1k, but the damage has been done and there is not much that Gumayushi can do to lose this matchup at this point. Now, there is still hope later on, but with a lead aggregating in the mid lane as well, Fizz killing the Swain, we now have a very, very unlikely scenario for a comeback. Gragas would have to catch Kalista out multiple times, absolutely dominating her, which isn't very likely, considering that the man plays in pro games versus the best of the best and does play safe. And one thing that you can say about Gumayushi is he is 5% more likely. Just a funny stat that I found out on a stats website about him. He's 5% more likely to lose if he lost before. Not every pro has that. Taker, for example, does not have that problem. But Guma seems to be tiltable. Alright. Beautiful. Ammo Alive Tempesture going down. And we are alive. As the top lane trading is still happening, but no one cares. And Kalista is taking over the bot lane turret and the bot lane by herself. Ezreal screaming internally. Viego did survive that. By how much HP, I do not know. But it was very few HP points, as the mid laners are now going into the mid lane. The bot laners are now going into the mid lane. And now the fiesta is going to be happening all around the world, all around the map, not just in bot side. And so now this is where the enemy team really is in trouble, because Kalista can just kill you. Kalista can just walk at you, have a look at you, and you're dead. Oh, just like that. The only one to watch out for is going to be that Rek'Sai. But I don't think that Rek'Sai is going to be able to penetrate an Immortal Shield Bow. And then there's also the revive from Renata Glask. And so I believe that there isn't very good chance. A good idea by Rek'Sai here. Wanted to make sure that she can kill the Renata Glask by ulting and thus dodging the damage while Renata's revive is happening. But she died before she could. And so the bot lane scare train keeps on going. Choo-choo into the enemy nexus. We have a big problem in the top lane. That big problem is hunting a Senna. It's zoning a Senna. It is actually hunting gold. As Fizz doing typical mid laner stuff, throwing his lead away, throwing around with gold, and not using his E. And Kalista is just farming up. No idea why Viego is here. Kalista could probably 1v5 the enemy team at this point, given that she is 10, 1, and 2. And so you can tell that if you give Guma a lead, he is going to take it and he is going to run with it. Very impressive player, but this Kalista game, a little bit of a different game anyway. A little bit of a different game anyway, as those early kills on the Ezreal were just a little bit too tragic. And then a beautiful punish by the Minister Glass, flashing onto Ezreal as well, granting the third kill to Kalista. But here she did die. She was trying to ward, something that happens a lot to bot laners / supporters. Alright, let's have a look. Kalista building up spears. Herald is going to be taken down, but flash is used. So the question is, do we have... Nope, we do not have flash. Alright. Gragas going to be taken down. And the Viego taking a million tower shots, and not as many as his AD carry best friend named Gumayushi. It is now time to get out of here though, as the Swain and the Rek'Sai are still scary, and that means that a dragon goes the way of Mei Yu Dalong, and thus the blue team. That was epic. The dragon is going down. Boom. There it is. Fizz recalling. Everyone is resetting. I've noticed this, that Gumayushi tends to do this, that he grabs his items and just leaves the base, because he has lifesteal anyway, and he is probably going to lifesteal back up to full HP. Now obviously that doesn't work on every champion. Jinx builds lifesteal very late, if at all, but Kalista, starting out with the shield bow, can definitely afford. Similar thing with Draven, I have noticed, and so he now is back to full HP. But he was on the map earlier. Got him a little bit more gold, a little bit more pressure. And the skirmishing is not stopping. How do you come back into the game? You fight. You fight your way back into the game. You claw your way back into the game. That is very much the Korean mentality. As Fizz ultimate enters orbit, Electrocute has been procced, but you do not kill the Gragas, as the Gragas is forced to ult. And that's about it. Alright. Well, Gragas damage reduction a little bit too strong. Ezreal says, "Who do you think you are?" Moving around, leaving, well, Vape actually, but leaving scars. As we are going to be chasing down that Senna. And Senna is not going down. One thing that we learned in our solo queue journey, me and my friend, that is, we learned that this frickin' Viego and Renata glass lane, or lane, but combo in a team comp, is incredibly strong. As wait, how did Guma die? Okay, we gotta figure out what happened to Guma. Guma, God, what did you do to your HP? Okay, we're dashing into. Yeah, we're dashing into Ezreal. Okay. Yeah, okay. So far, so what happened? We're farming up. Oh, the Rek'Sai coming in with the Prowler's Claw, and that is the dead AD carry. Well, if Rek'Sai can keep doing this, there is a realistic chance, because Swain can most definitely still take over this game with his special Faker build. The Senna is going to scale whether or not you want her. Doesn't really matter to her. But the Viego win condition is just so strong. Especially if you pair him with someone like the Renata, as Renata is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculously strong. Alright, Gumayushi moving in to the Herald. Building up some proximity to his team so he can help just in case. And we're going to be having a look at what the enemy team is doing. Swain thinking about a flank here, but Ornn is ready. Ready to have a look. Fine. Buffering our W, are we? That is a flash by the Renata Glask. And the Ornn Horn is going to be sounded as a knock-up. Prevents the ultimate. Which wasn't going to be very strong anyway. So not like that mattered too much. Right? Fizz Zonya is gone. Fizz Flash gone as well. Not entirely sure that that was necessary. But the Ezreal is putting in work. And a lot of it. Very early spike here with his items. Running the Essence Reaver build. Usually very suboptimal build, but it gives you a strong early game spike. And if you want to claw your way back into this game, the Essence Reaver is going to be necessary. One reason why I wouldn't tell any low elo Ezreals. I mean, I wouldn't tell many people to play Ezreal unless you're going to put in a lot of hours. But low elo Ezreals probably shouldn't go this build, as low elo games tend to go the minute. Go the full length, and thus Triforce is going to be giving more value. Alright. So what exactly is Gumayushi thinking right now? Well, Gumayushi most definitely wants to obtain the next item. Something that is always on your mind as an AD carry. And having AGA will save you from Rek'Sai flashes. But I think one thing that he definitely is thinking about is the dragon right now. And we are asking ourselves, how can we access this dragon? Gragas hitting a beautiful cask. Gumayushi doing a great job though. Yep, Gumayushi doing a great job. Almost killing the Rek'Sai and killing the Gragas. And now? Yep. Now we are going to be able to do the dragon. As both junglers are dead, the support is respawning and Kalista is very strong whenever she is able to stack the spears. So she has basically as her smite. Apparently we're looking for the tower instead of the dragon. I personally think that we should have looked for the dragon. But I guess we can wait for the jungler as Viego is respawning earlier and his smite is ready to go. Fizz kind of having a look-see. Ezreal ult is coming in. Hitting in a decent... It's a decent timing, but one does not simply take a dragon from a Kalista. Very, very small window of opportunity there. And the junglers are having their ward off as control wards and zombie wards are placed. And everyone is artificially boosting their ward scores. Right. Minute 19 and Kalista is already almost full build. One item remaining. Currently, that slot is used for a control ward. But in the future, in the near future, there is not going to be a control ward. The question is, what item is it going to be? Rek'Sai not going for armor. So armor pen, probably not necessary, which is good. Healing reduction, something that the Renata Glask is going to do for her. running the Chemtech Putrefier. And so we do have a lot of options here. We can go Blade of the Ruined King. Blade of the Ruined King is pretty good, but given the lack of tankiness on the enemy team, we can also go something like the... what is it called? The Executor? The Collector. That is the one. There's Renata ult, or the Kalista ult. Throws Renata into the Ezreal, Ezreal flashing away. And that is flash. For the untouchable, the Ezreal AD carry is going to be gone. Let's have a look. What is the map state? Kalista is recalling. We are thinking about Barons. This is the objective that everyone needs and requires. A teleport by Gragas is coming through. Fizz question marking why Gragas did teleport. We're trying to catch the Ornn here, but Kalista is present. So it is only going to be a trade. And it is not a very good trade, as the enemy team lost their jungler. And that means that the Baron is free to be grabbed. Fizz beautifully baiting out that body slam. Gragas just standing there, asking himself, why did I press E there? And unfortunately, this Gragas does not have an ultimate. And so he can stare menacingly and look menacingly, but he cannot menace. Alright, Kalista absolutely cleaning up the team fight. And so we're going to grab the Baron and probably the mid lane inhibitor right after, if that is possible. 28 seconds on the clock, so probably not possible, but we gotta hurry. Wouldn't want the Kalista to... what was that smite? Wouldn't want the Rek'Sai to jump in, one-shot Kalista and kill everyone else. Alright, everyone get ready, for we are about to get one of the final fights of this game. Gumayushi collecting the red buff. Fizz is making his way to push top lane, and so the pincer is going to get set up. Ornn going bot lane, and we are looking for picks. Into the jungle we go. Fizz still pushing. If we have a look at the fights, Kalista collecting one. Looking for the Gragas now. Gragas though, a lot of defensive tools, a lot of peeling power as Viego is forced to ult. And that is a Kalista pressuring the Swain. Kalista says, we got Swain ult, that's good. Let's just wait it out. But a lot of cooldowns are used, and so we will have to try to kill the Swain. Viego barely surviving there. No Ezreal ult available anymore, as Kalista is diving into the Ezreal and therefore taking the game in her own hand. Senna chilling, asking herself, why the hell did Ezreal die 3 times in the early game? God frickin' damn it. And so we have a G to the frickin' G. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome. Bro, what the hell?